Welcome to this edition of Platform. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Reducing the unemployment rate in Nigeria is the #1 mandate of the National Directorate of Employment, NTA. The Directorate is also charged with facilitating skills acquisition, poverty reduction, entrepreneurship development, and improving Nigeria's financial situation. The ravaging coronavirus pandemic has largely affected the world economy and consequentially production, resulting in rising unemployment. The Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, NECA, recorded 23.1% as the country's unemployment rate in 2019. With COVID-19 and other challenges, NECA has warned that Nigeria's unemployment rate in 2020 may hit 33.5%. Conscious of these challenges and its mandate, the National Director of Employment targeted more than 200,000 unemployed youths to benefit from its various trainings and empowerment programs across the country. The trainings are in quick win demand-driven skill sets, cosmetology, school on wheel, advanced national open entrepreneurship scheme, basic business refreshers courses, and the Central Bank of Nigeria's Agribusiness Small and Medium Enterprises Investment Loan Scheme nationwide. How far has the NDE gone in the implementation of these trainings, and what percentage of unemployed youths are now entrepreneurs and gainfully employed? What feedback is the NDE recording? And overall, what are the problems of unemployment in Nigeria? This is the focus of this edition of Platform. Our guest is Dr. Nasruladen Argungu, Director General, National Directorate of Employment. He's a cardiologist by training, an astute politician, and an expert in youth development. Dr. Nasruladen Argungu was appointed Director General NDE in April 2017. Welcome to Platform.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
As usual, my panelist and assistant producer is Ruth Aguele.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Nasruladen Argungu, welcome once again to Platform. Because this is the second time we're hosting you in this program. The first was on the 29th of January, 2019. Now, it is a different time and different environment with, if you like, different scenarios. We're in the pandemic period of COVID-19, and certainly as a medical doctor, one would want to kick off from there and say, what are your thoughts on the pandemic, including containment efforts?
Well, you see, whether we like it or not, issue of coronavirus is real. I'm shocked to realize that up to now there are people that doesn't believe that coronavirus is real. COVID-19 is real, is a disease that can be transferred from one person to another, and that's the reason why people are always advised issue of cleanliness, wash your hands, use your face mask in order to protect yourself to some extent. And as far as federal government is concerned, I believe they are doing a great job, because if you look at the team they put in place as far as the presidential task force of COVID-19 is concerned, there are people that I believe are doing their job as far as I'm concerned, right from the experts that are within their midst. I'm talking of the Honorable Minister of Health himself, Dr. Henry, who is a medical doctor, and our good friend Dr. Sani, who is also internationally recognized, and the good work the Secretary to the federal government is doing as the chairman of that committee, Boss Mustafa, and other people that are in that committee, like our good friend Emeka, Minister of State Education. And I believe it's a very good and strong team, and they are doing great.
Well, certainly there are correlations between COVID-19 and as a pandemic, productivity, and of course, your tough, which is unemployment. What have you come to terms with all those correlations?
You see, yes. If you look at this, is a global phenomenon, not just in Nigeria. For the first time in the history of the United States, one of the most developed nations, one of the strongest economy, more than 30 million U.S. citizens registered themselves as unemployed, looking for government support, unemployed support, and the rest of them. Talk less of countries in Africa like Nigeria. Initially, as you have rightly said, our unemployment rate is about 23 point something, which is quite high in a country of about 200 million. And now with the coming of COVID, we can see what is happening in the aviation sector, leisure, and the rest of them. People have lost so much jobs, and it is definitely affecting their lifestyle, their source of living in general. So there is a very good relationship as far as unemployment is concerned and the issue of COVID-19.
And talking about this unemployment, of course, considering the enormity of creating job, you know, the tax of creating job, especially at this critical time. From what you're saying, yes, people have lost their jobs. Some are at the verge of losing their jobs. So what strategies has the NDE adopted in terms of keeping the steaming youths out of the street?
You see, as if Mr. President knew, December last year, he came up with a program called Special Public Works. This is something that involves recruiting some young men and women within their locality so that they can look after their locality in terms of cleanliness. For example, if you have a dirty environment in your hospitals, in your mosques, in your churches, within the environment, so that they can have them clean. Vegetation control, erosion control, tree planting, and the rest of them, even traffic control. In fact, in general, we are talking of taking care of critical federal government, state, and local government structures. We started in 8 states as pilot studies. We did in Ebonyi, Edo, Kwara, Ekiti, Adamawa, Katsina, Borno, and Jigawa states, 8 states. In each of the 5 states, we focus on 5 local governments. And in each of these 5 local governments, we recruited 1,000 young men and women that participated in these special public works. And each one of them was paid 20,000 naira on a monthly basis. Because of the success recorded in special public works that involves just 440,000 Nigerians, Mr. President said we should extend this thing to all the local governments in the Federation. We are talking of 774 local governments times 1,000. We are talking of 774,000 young men and women. This is the biggest project in the history of this country, single biggest project in the history of this country as far as employment is concerned. We are talking of 1,000 young men and women in a local government, and each one of them will receive a pay of 20,000 naira on a monthly basis.
It's good you mentioned this because on the 5th of May, there was a disclaimer by the Directorate that the Directorate has not started recruiting from the local government. So I wanted to clarify that. From what you're saying, the program, the pilot has kicked off. So when will this recruitment in all the local government areas kick off?
You see, from what we did in the pilot stage that involved just estates, and now it involves 36, 37, including FCT. We learned from the small mistakes we have made. And that's the reason why this time we are still on the planning stage. Unlike before, when we distributed forms to various states where these young men and women were recruited, this time we are trying to make it airtight. In fact, the forms that we have printed now, they even carry some security, something so that they cannot be duplicated by anybody. And the young men and women to be recruited this time, we have 20 man state selection committee. And if I tell you, if I can just mention the number of people that are involved as far as selection committee is concerned, you'll know that this time it is going to be as prudent as possible, as clean as you can think of. From the 20-member state committee, we have representative of the religious body, the traditional rulers, civil society, NUJ, NBA, National Union of Road Transport Workers, NLC, representative of people living with disability, just to mention a few. And these are people that you know they will definitely talk if something goes wrong. And that's the reason why we decided to incorporate them in the state selection committee. Even the governor of a state, he only have the mandate to nominate one person.
So it has not kicked off?
It has not kicked off.
Okay.
So you are at the stage of the pilot scheme, which is involving just 8 states.
Yes, the pilot scheme, 8 states. And even during the COVID, more especially in the states that don't have lockdown, they are still working. In fact, we have just paid them their monthly stipends in 6 states: Borno, Ekiti, Kwara, Ebonyi. I know 6 states. We are paid in 6 states.
So by the time it encompasses all the 36 states and Abuja, what percentage of unemployed youths will you say NDA will be covering?
You see, this is just one out of the various programs we are running. If you look at VSD, Vocational Skill Development, we are finished our first phase. We are now on the second phase. In fact, email was just sent to our state coordinators yesterday, whereby 50 young men and women in each of the 774 local government are to be recruited so that we can train them on various trades. And the way we do it, we don't move anybody. We give you a form to fill on what you want to be trained on, whether it is auto electrician, auto mechanic, GSM repairs, interlock blocks, OPOP molding, furniture making, and the rest of them. Within your locality, we will look for a local artisan, master crafter. We attach you to him.
Okay.
We collect your details, including your bank details. We give you ID card. We give you attendance register and logbook. For you to qualify for the stipend that is being paid on monthly basis to the trainer and the trainee, you must attend your place of work at least 20 times in a month. Once you fulfill that condition, you will get your alert directly from GiveMe's account, which is government account. That is under VSD. This program, we call it Mega BNOS, Mega Basic Open National Apprentice Scheme.
50 youths across all the 774 local governments.
Yes. The fact that we know women are vulnerable, we also created 20 in each of the 774 local government, women specifically, to be trained on cosmetology, whereby we train them on how to make liquid soap, solid soap, hair shampoo, car wash, Izal, detergent, and the rest of them.
But you know, the pandemic has presented a new way people are doing things now. In terms of training these young people for the skills acquisition and other schemes the directorate is involved in, what other measures have been put in place to ensure that while these people are being engaged with their skills acquisition, they're also staying safe? Are there new measures you've adopted?
If you look at all where we are running our programs, recently in
because, sorry, the numbers will not be the same again.
Yeah. In 18 states where we have sewing machines, we produce 20,000 face masks.
Okay.
And we engage our trainees to produce them, and of course we have paid them. And in all the centers, we have the infrared touch, we have hand sanitizers, we have face masks, and even gloves. And we strictly adhere to social distancing for our people to be safe. And for the other program we are running recently, because we have arranged, as some of us are aware, as far as ND is concerned, our programs are on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly and yearly basis. We have arranged everything as far as our work plan is concerned before the unfortunate coming of COVID-19. So we sat and make some adjustment. Like what we are doing now, there is a program we call MIS, Micro Enterprise Enhancement Scheme, under rural employment, where we targeted vulnerable people, people with small businesses, whose capital is no more than 5,000 naira. We meet them directly, give them interest-free loan of 10,000 naira with moratorium of 3 months to be paid in 1 year. So the payment rate is just about 233 naira per month after the 3 months moratorium during this COVID period. Before, the way we did it, we gather about 500, 1,000 of them at the same time we give them. But even the one that we are doing now for the Association of Market Women in Abuja, the 75 small markets within outside Abuja, based on what the chairperson told us, we decided to pick 20 in each of the markets, giving us a total figure of 1,500. The arrangement we made is to move them with our vehicle in groups to our Boris Center, 20 in a group at different sessions, so that we can give them this money directly instead of the ceremonial that we used to do. The same thing, what we are doing in Lagos. Every day we run about 4 sessions of 30 people per day, up to the time we cover the number of people that benefit from this.
But would you say the pressure, arising from the pandemic is, becoming much because more people are losing jobs, more demand in the access will increase, obviously?
Yeah, there is that. But as far as I'm concerned, we can only do what we are able to do. But as far as issue of training is concerned, we have all it takes to train as much as possible. But we're just limiting what we are doing, because I believe by the time you train somebody on a thread, after he graduated, if you did not give him working tools or startup packs, you have wasted your time, his or her time. And that's the reason why we limited, as far as I'm concerned, even the mega basic national open apprentice scheme that we are doing, that we are picking 50 per local government. Ruth, I'm telling you, we are capable of engaging 200 per local government. But we have to restrict it to just about 50 for other trades and 20 for cosmetology, because we want to be sure after they are trained, we resettle them. Otherwise, they will still go back to the same level market.
So there's a follow-up?
Of course.
Okay.
And so even these myths we are talking about, by the time we go into a village, maybe we get 50 women, 10,000 naira each, interest-free loan. Out of the 50 we gave, we'll source another 10 and attach to them. It is only when they pay, then they will benefit, because it's a revolving kind of. So there is no need for even NTA to send their loan officers or people from inspectorate to pursue them, because those ones will make sure that they pay so that they can benefit.
So generally, what will you say is the level of feedback your NDE is getting on all these trainings so far?
You see, it's highly impressive, because whatever we are doing, we are so open. And the fact that we relate with the state governors, we normally call them to find out, apart from our workforce that are in various states and our desk officers, 691 of them out of the 774 local government, we are always interrelating. How far have you gone? What have you done? What's the feedback from so and so person? And the fact that some of the people that we train, we buy their products directly from them, sell to NEMA or National Commission of the Refugee. By the time we don't see your products, we'll ask questions. Something is wrong. So we have various ways of monitoring our trainees. Like during this COVID period, there is a trainer in Kaduna that is producing hand wash and hand sanitizer. And one of our products is one of the best.
So let's say...
Now talking of feedback, there is a latest program that NDE is involved in, and I think since its inception, School on Wheels program.
Yes.
With COVID, normal open schooling has been suspended. I think the School on Wheels program should come in handy to to go into the crannies and nooks and the crannies of the country. So what emphasis have you placed on that program so that you can maximize the times, if you like?
You see, Mahmoud, before I came to NDE, virtually all the so-called school on wheels or mobile workshops are now working. But as I'm talking to you, we have 26 of them in different locations in this country that goes into the nook and corners of this country to train our young men and women on various trades. So they are all over.
You know, one big question in the mind of a lot of young people there who are seeking this kind of opportunity you're laying down for us here is access. How do I get through? Do I just walk into an NDE office? What are the criteria? Maybe you should clarify that.
You see, there is no parental treatment. Once you are a Nigerian and you are 18 years and above, there is no formal education. All that we are saying, use your brain and your hands to earn a living. You can go to any of our offices, either the 6 zonal offices or the 36, 37 plus FCT state offices, or the 691 DEX offices we have out of the 774 local government. The forms are there. All you need to go, collect the form, fill it. The various 15 trades we are training are there, because before I came to NDE were training in over 81 different trades. But when I came, I streamlined everything to just about 15, based on demand driven, so that whatever trade we train you on, immediately you finish, we settle you, you'll be a hot cake within your environment. People look for you so that you can earn a living. So just walk into any of our offices. We have these forms, we have everything, so that you can collect the form, fill it, and we'll attach you to where you learn this thing.
If someone is asking for a grant, do they have to still go through a training before they are granted?
No.
Okay.
I tell you one thing. The reason why we have to be careful as far as issue of grant loan is concerned, since the inception of NDE, total amount of money given out in form of loans is over 3 billion naira. Some people even deposited original copies of their credentials, but they abandoned everything. We realized that those that collected small loans are people that are paying. Those that collected big loans, they disappeared. And that's the reason why we make it airtight, watertight, for you to obtain any form of loan from us and abscond. Whenever you want to do something, we normally send you to SSCE, Small Scale Enterprises, as a department NDE. You go to them with your proposal. They'll look at it. If it's something viable, there is what you call BBT, Basic Business Training. Within 30 minutes, they are expert in that. They will tell you, now, okay, now you want to establish a poultry farm. This is how you go about this, and that. So at the end of the day, we'll calculate and find out how much do you need to do this thing. And of course, they'll go to where you said you want to establish this, so that they will look at it before you obtain our loan. And this one, there is no parental treatment. Once you are in Nigeria and you are able to fulfill our conditions, as far as your readiness in terms of what you want to do, you will access it.
Did you tell us the modalities, because NDE is involved? The CBN has come up with the Agribusiness Small and Medium Enterprises Investment Loan Scheme. What is involved? Where does NDE come in, and where does CBN come in?
Yeah,
and what are the procedures?
It's a collaborative effort. Initially, the total amount was 25 billion, but now that amount of money has been increased to about 150 billion. As I'm talking to
Naira.
you, yes, as far as IGMIS is concerned, in all the states, we sent 5,000 forms and 5,000 certificates as a criteria, NDE being a training house. We train you on various trades, give you certificate, we photocopy those certificates at state level, give it to CBN, EGMIS, DEX officer. They will look at what you are trained on, and they will calculate how much they think, like somebody who is involved in fashion design, what the amount of money is supposed to get will be different from somebody who learn blocks, interlocks, or POP molding. You know, the amount of money allocated to each and every beneficiary will be determined by the trade. he or she is trained on. We have sent 5,000 forms in all the states as far as ND is concerned. But states like Kano, they decided to scale down the amount of money, because this is something that you can access from 0 to 5 million. So decided to scale down the amount of money to the highest you can collect is about 500,000 to start your business after we train you. And that's the reason why, as I'm talking to you, Kano submitted over 40,000 names to Nisal Bank, Nisal Microfinance Bank. And I'm happy the way their MD, Abdullahi Kure, is handling it. He's doing a fantastic job. I cannot tell you the number of NDE trainees that benefited from this collaboration with Nisal Microfinance. When I was in Edo the last time, we went around with the governor to do with his economic city. I met 2 women that benefited from our collaboration to the tune 2 million, 5 million. So it is working. In addition to that, we also have collaboration with Bank of Industries. The last time we sent names of 60,000 people that we train so that they can access these funds, so that they can be on their own. And the big one we're about to do with the CBN in collaboration with Bank of Industry, we came up with the modality, what we call 50 under 35. We're trying to create 50 young entrepreneurs that are not more than 35 years in each of the 109 senatorial zones. Those that have established businesses, those that came to us with fantastic idea, so that we can make it easier for them to access loan, so that they can be employees of labor.
Now the National Youth Service Scheme, is, of course, like the name implies, is for youths. And NDE also appears to be working largely for the youths. What special interventions is the NDE doing, or collaboration is the NDE doing with the NYSC to make sure that the graduates of the NYSC, when they graduate, that is, after the 1 year compulsory service, don't have to now look for job, white-collar job?
You see, the most important thing is this. We should be in touch with the reality. The white-collar job is not there. We are always telling them, use your brain and your hands to earn a living. In order to make it better for them, we have a program called GAP, Graduate Attachment Program. We normally target graduates, and we attach them to more advanced factories and industries where they can learn a trade. And on a monthly basis, we are paying them 30,000 naira to be trained. In fact, we even go down the line. For those of them that are lazy, they don't want to leave their localities, we have a program called Graduate Coaching Scheme, whereby within their locality, we pick some graduates. We are paying them on a monthly basis. All we want them to do is for them to train the young men and women within that locality that are deficient either in WAEC, SSCE, GCE, NECO, or even JAM, so that they can make off when they sit for the exams. So,
what has been the response of the NYSC graduates to this GAP and the other coaching scheme?
The only thing is always good to say it the way it is. I think there is the need for them to come to the terms. Let them come, let them be in touch with the reality. Let them drop their pride. That's it. The response from most of them, I'm telling you, is not encouraging.
Have you engaged the DG NYSC on this?
No, honestly, I have not.
Are you planning to do that?
Exactly.
Yeah, from what you have said, after this COVID, I will definitely discuss with him so that we can move
Because
forward.
part of your mandate is attitudinal change.
Yeah, so that we can move forward.
Okay.
But the pride is the main issue.
All the schemes you're reeling out, there's need for collaboration with the private sector.
Yeah.
What is the synergy like?
I tell you one thing. There are some of them that are fair and good to us, but there are some we cannot deal with them. Even as per international collaboration, as I'm talking to you, we have collaboration with the government of Belarus. Their Minister of Youth Employment was in our office sometimes back. He even invited us to Belarus. We have collaboration with them in the areas of agriculture, ICT, and engineering. We have collaboration with the Egyptian government in areas of hotel management and leisure. We have collaboration with German government through their NGO, JIZ. We have collaboration with Algerian government through their Scientific Center for Arid Studies in Askia, Algiers, to do with agriculture. And locally, we have collaboration with Dangote Group. We have collaboration with MT and Yellow Clinic. We have collaboration with Intercellular and other private organizations. But I'm telling you, as far as GAP is concerned, some of these private sectors, what they are asking from us to be paid for them to train these graduates in their various industries or ministries is something that we cannot afford. But some of them, yes, we have collaboration and they have been good to us. We understand each other so that we can fight unemployment as far as Nigeria is concerned.
So if you cannot afford, what's the way out?
We cannot afford. We just have to forget about them and look to where we think we can send our graduates so that they can be trained further.
Meanwhile, unemployment rate continues to rise.
That is just a fraction of what we are doing. When we are talking of maybe about 500 industries, maybe 100 out of these 500 gave us a condition that we cannot meet. What do you expect us to do? We'll concentrate more on the 400 by increasing the number of trainees there so that we can balance out.
From your experience since you were appointed in 2017 to now, do you think there is the need to redefine or review the term unemployment? Because it appears to me that there is underemployment, there is unemployment.
You see, Muhammadu, to be frank with you, if you look at unemployment, underemployment, there are things that you have to take into consideration. In Nigeria, there are people that are ready to work. There are people that are available to work. And there are people that are not ready to work. So it's a caricature of so many things. Sometimes you have to crack your head in order to move forward. But I tell you one thing. As far as ND is concerned, Nigeria will see a great change from the 774,000 young men and women that are to be engaged. You believe in God, right? You believe in the day of judgment. You believe in life after death. Ruth, are you ready to go to hell on behalf of anybody? I'm sure no. So the same thing with me. Mahmoud, I'm telling you, as far as the mandate given to ND is concerned, for this, one of the biggest single project of employment is concerned, I'm telling you, we are going to do justice to Nigerians. Even if we are to step on some toes, we are ready to step on those toes, even if they are to break, talk less of to bleed, because they are selfish toes. I know I'm under pressure, but nobody can push me to do what I believe is not right for Nigerians. Mr. President will never tell me to bend the law, talk less of breaking the law.
Honorable Arua Arunsi, PDP Abia, sometime last year, sponsored a bill to amend the NDE Act of 2004. It didn't pass second reading. Where are we now? Because I remember the last time you were on this program in January 2019, you agreed that the act needed some review and amendment. Where are we?
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, the former chairman, Senate Committee, Labor and Employment, Senator Nazif from Bauchi State, he has done a lot. I know that bill passed second reading. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., we are going to meet with the Joint Senate Committee and House Committee on Labor and Employment with my minister, and this is part of the issues that we are going to raise.
Tomorrow being 18th of June 2020.
Yes.
Right.
So it's part of what we are going to discuss. Where are we as far as that bill is concerned?
Part of the things that will be reviewed, because I was just going to ask the question of the role of legislature, if you must review the act of the directorate, because I know part of your mandate is to obtain and maintain a data bank where employment and vacancies, can be assessed, which your directorate will serve as a link to this organization. But from what you're saying of 400 not working, 100 working, you work with these numbers, just an example. Are you considering, presenting these also, so that if the directorate's mandate is to link employment, because if we must tackle unemployment in Nigeria, then there must be reforms, there must be strong legal frameworks.
Well, that one is left for ours is to suggest. That one is left for the lawmakers. We all know that, yes, as far as issue of unemployment is concerned, we should be in touch with the reality we are sitting on time bomb. So there is the need for them to do something as urgent as possible.
Well, as DG NDE, what areas are you looking at? What areas of the Act, as it exists, do you think needed amendment or review?
No, as far as I'm concerned, that Act, NDE Act, has been there for quite some time, almost 34 years now. You cannot tell me level of unemployment 34 years ago is still the same as at now. Virtually the whole Act need to be looked into, the whole of it.
So it should be repealed and reenacted?
I believe so, the whole of it.
In this coronavirus era, one of the ultimate goal I know the government is looking at is food sufficiency. Now, what other measures has the NDE adopted in terms of reviewing your agricultural skills program so that more young people can be attracted to that agri sector?
Yeah, thank you very much. Two areas, agriculture and ICT. These are areas that you can create as many jobs as possible. In agriculture, because of the value chain. Under Rural Employment Promotion as a department, we have a program called SATS, Sustainable Agri Training Scheme, whereby we target young men and women across the nation. We train them on various modern techniques of agriculture. You know what? We realize in the southwestern part of this country, Oyo, Ondo, Oshun, Ogun, and the rest of them, it takes only 100,000 naira as far as maize farming is concerned for a young man to hire a land, clearing, planting, up to cultivation. Just 100,000 for 1 hectare of land. And the profit margin is about 125 to 150,000. And that's the reason why we engage as many as possible in those areas. We give them this interest-free loan so that they can obtain that. And a lot of them are paying, and some of them move from just 1 hectare. I'm telling you, there is somebody now that is cultivating about 20 hectares in Osun State. So even in the areas of agriculture, mainly we target cash crops, commercial plants. So it's part of what we're doing.
Okay, and looking at the ICT, of course, the world has changed, the way people interact and even do business with even before coronavirus came. So what strategies, innovative strategies, are you engaging some of these trainees in terms of ICT?
Yeah, as I told you, we are in collaboration with MTN and Yellow Clinic, mainly to do with training these young men and women. And we're dealing with onedial.com to do with mobile money transfer, mainly in the rural areas, and the InterSwitch. So a lot of help come from these various bodies, and it has to do with assisting our young men and women so that they can move forward as far as ICT is concerned, because most of these things are now being done online, even purchases and the rest of them.
So what collaboration, if any, does NDE now has with Nigerians in diaspora, for example? Because it's a bunch of talents over there.
You see, we had meeting with some of them in 2017, 2018, and I think it's October 2019, Mrs. Abike Dabiri came with some of them, to our office. In fact, some of them are even returnees from Libya, some from South Africa when that South African crisis started. And we sat up with them. And I tell you, there are some of them that are genuine, and there are some of them that are fake. At the initial stage, the impression they will give you, we are coming home to contribute our own quota. But somewhere along the line, issue of money will come in. That yes, we train these young men, we need to take them to Ireland, and for their accommodation, tickets, and whatever it's where they are going to stay. And there are some of them that, yes, are genuine, but there are some of them that are fake.
Those of them that are genuine, what's the percentage?
Yes, we are dealing with them, and we are dealing with them directly through Mrs. Abike Dabiri. Before, we are dealing with them directly through their body called NAIDO. We had series of meetings with them. But now everything is done through the senior special. Yes, that's what we're doing.
But are you also engaging them as trainers, like tap into their capacity to pass on to the ones that need it more?
Honestly, no.
Why?
Because I'm not impressed.
But
most of the presentations are just paperwork. When you're looking for something practical, it is not there. I know we had meetings with some of them. They even organized seminars in Eradua Center. I was there. But somewhere along the line, you may think that is something that can be beneficial to this country. But
so out of 100%, what is the percentage?
As far as ND is concerned, 0.
What of those who have investable funds to come and invest in Nigeria?
Well, I think the ones that are investing, they are merely investing in properties. I know there is a proposal they brought to do with a diaspora city, which is a mega project. I'm aware of that.
That's strange to hear, because, you know, when people come from outside the country, we normally have this, well, people have this perception about them on the knowledge they can tap.
Let me tell you, Ruth, when I came to NDE, I came up with the idea of NDEI, NDE International. And the aim of creating that department is because of the number of our young men and women that normally died within the Mediterranean or in Sahara Desert in trying to get across to Europe for a greener future that is not there. So I came up with that platform. We had a robot website whereby all unemployed Nigerians, skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled, can have themselves registered. We opened the portal to the whole world. What we are trying to do is to make sure that we eliminate middlemen, so-called human traffickers. If you are looking for anything, it is either government to government or government to an institution. What we are saying that we cannot stop them from traveling abroad. We are trying to see that if they are traveling, they will travel legally, in style and in dignity, because we'll monitor their activities. Part of what we had wanted to do was the diaspora
commission.
Yes, mainly in Germany, mainly in Europe. But honestly, this was before the coming of Mrs. Dabiri.
You mean the establishment of the Diaspora Commission?
Yes, we are dealing with them through their international body, NAIDO. But I tell you, the response is not encouraging. And that's the reason why we just decided to...
But have you redirected that initiative through the Diaspora Commission now?
I have not, honestly.
I think you need to.
I will try.
Well, let's veer away from the issue of unemployment, investment, and all that. 70 to 80% of Nigerians of voting age are youths, and you are reputed to be a great youth mobilizer. What advice do you have to this quantum of youth for them to maximally participate in Nigeria's democratic process, particularly issues of having PVCs and then being able to partake in voting and even the political process itself?
You see, Malam Modu, Nigerian youth are smart, sharp, coherent, and very intelligent. They know what they are doing. I'm telling you. But there are lazy ones among them. If I were you to ask today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, even if it's somebody's father, I will get tired. That one can only be done to you by God. There are ample of opportunities. As I've said, drop the pride. Money is in private businesses, entrepreneurship. I pity some of us that solely rely on monthly pay, because you will end up living from paycheck to paycheck. This thing will only come at the end of the month when you have the opportunity to get money on daily basis. They know what they're doing. And I'm telling you, with our advocacy, with our noise making and the rest of them, a lot of them are responding. I'm telling you, as far as Kebbi State is concerned, and my locality, Argungu, unless if you are lazy. I can recall there was a time when a bag of parboiled rice is about 3,400, 4,000. As I'm talking to you now, it's about 12,800. And people are looking for it to buy. If you look at Wako, the rice mill is one of the biggest in West Africa that is situated in Argungu. What does it take to get involved in rice farming? Some of us are engaged in rice farming. We are doing rice farming. So as far as I'm concerned, it is all left for them to get in touch with the reality so that they can have something doing. There are ample of opportunities.
So what are you doing to re-engage them? That's the question.
We have been calling. They have seen some of our trainees and trainers all over. Some of them on their own, they say, what is happening? No, this, and that. And there and then they'll get engaged. Yeah, I want to participate. They will give them forms to fill, and they get engaged. As far as I'm concerned, we even go through extra mile after we settle them, talking to the local government chairman that, look, this young man, we train him on blocks molding. We give him water pumping machine. We get a land for him where he will start his blocks molding business. We give him 1 ton, that is 20 bags of cement, plus 2 to 3 10 tires of sharp sand to be on his own. And we tell the local government chairman, yes, we know there are a lot of projects taking place. He is your son. We have just trained him on this. For him not to go back to the labor market, please patronize him. Even some of them that we train in carpentry, wherever there is a project taking place within the local government, we try to talk to them to make it a priority to engage these young men so that at least they can earn a living, which is better for the local government itself.
In my introduction, I talked about your profile, a little about your profile, where I said you are a trained cardiologist. From 2017 to now, what time do you have for medical practice?
You see, one good thing is that I still keep in touch with most of my patients. And before Dr. Elijah Maina left the Darki General Hospital, at my own time, I used to join them for general or grand ward round, so that at least I can refreshen my knowledge as far as my medical practice is concerned. And anytime I go to Argungu, I used to go to the general hospital where I've been a PMO for over 5 years. And the fact that anytime I'm there, my patients knows my capability and ability as far as practice is concerned, you see them trooping. I sit, consult, do ward round.
And this is the best time to practice that. What is the NDE contributing in the face of the pandemic?
Well, contributing, I told you, in 18 states we produced 20,000 face masks, which we gave out free. In addition to that, some states 100, some 250 hand sanitizers.
More like support workers to medical institutions. Do you provide that also?
No.
Okay.
No. The highest we do, we try to protect our people first. And that's the reason why in all our zonal state offices, we have all the protective gear, face mask, hand gloves, sanitizers, and infrared thermometers.
Okay.
But if you can recall, on my own as a person, as a good citizen, we did our own palliative with the DG National Video and Census Board, and we targeted those that are vulnerable. We're at the force headquarters, we're at the area command in Garkitu here, we're at Gwagwalada, we're at Gorimpa, we're at Zone 4 police station, and also those that we found at the various junctions on our own. But as far as ND is concerned,
They said information is power. You have reeled out a lot of achievements that the NDE has recorded so far. But one thing I know that is lacking is people getting access to this information that the Directorate holds credit to. Are you thinking of more advocacy, like sensitization, reaching out to people? Because it's the work of the NDE to reduce unemployment.
We're negotiating with NTA. We have series of programs on NTA Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo. That one is on. Arrangement has been concluded with my minister. We're collaborating with NTA so that on weekly basis we'll have 30 minutes to 45 minutes program telling Nigerians what we are doing in NDE, how far we have gone in terms of achievements, our challenges, and the rest of them.
And showcase some of these beneficiaries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Nasru Ladan Argungu, Director General, National Directorate of Employment, NDE, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Ruth Aguele of our Current Affairs Unit, thank you.
Thank you.
In the last 50 minutes, we've been talking with the Director General, National Directorate of Employment, Dr. Nasru Ladan Argungu. He told us a lot and several more of the initiatives NDE has embarked upon to reduce unemployment rates in Nigeria and, of course, create gainfully employed youths to reduce unemployment at the same time. And that's platform. Thank you for watching. I'm Muhammad Kuda Abubakar. Bye for now.